Hi, guys. Welcome to the latest episode of Rising to the Ranks podcast. In this episode, we talk with Mr. Ashwani Arora, who currently resides in Dubai. We talk to him about the trading industry. We talk to him about how he gets gold and oil from the countries where it is difficult to deal with. We talked a little bit about cryptocurrencies. He gave us insights on acting on your passion, and we ended the conversation on the required mindset. I hope you enjoy this.
So, hi sir, can you talk to us about your journey in brief, your professional journey?
So see, it all started with my passion. When I was small, I had a great passion to travel, to meet people, to get to know different cultures, and somewhere I had imagination to travel all over the world and to know this world. This all like started from there. So when I was doing my graduation, I was actually not very much interested in what I was doing. I did my pharmaceutical sciences from Delhi University. Then, but while doing this, I understood that I don't need all this, so I just changed myself to go to MBA. I did my MBA in international finance and international trading. The reason was very simple. I somewhere wanted to know more languages, more cultures, explore and travel. And I was honestly very fortunate. So as I finished all my MBA, I was looking for a job which could probably give me this kind of exposure to travel abroad. Those days, traveling abroad used to be like very difficult. If it is 1990, I finished my it is 1990. So in 1990, if you wanted to travel, there were so many restrictions from the government, and for our country, it used to be very expensive also. Like it was not so easy to travel. But anyway, first job I got was in HCL from my campus. So it was like a very good job, but I was not interested. I did not go to HCL. I waited, and I was picked up by a company called Mesco Airlines that time. No, Mesco Group actually. And I told them I'm interested in only in international trade. If you're interested, we will work together. That's where all my journey started. These people were very good with me, and for the next 4 or 5 years, I was just traveling all over the world, doing, trying, understanding what all things we need to do. Then I set up many offices for them in my various countries. And those days, the Russia had broken down.
Mhm.
Soviet Union had broken down into 14 countries now called CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States. And I saw huge opportunity there for all kind of work, for all kind of trading. So that is how, in 95, 6, I set up offices there. 94 end actually. I set up office in Moscow. And instead of traveling all over the world, I started sitting in Moscow and doing trading activities. And while I was doing a lot of trading activities between India and Russia, I found that Russia was very rich in mineral resources. So that's how I started exploring about oil and gas export from Russia. And I did some work with India also, but mainly I used to do from Russia to Europe. So that was what I was doing. So I was doing till around 2009, 2010. And then, in that period, there was something again inside me asking me to change, develop, expand, explore further. So I took a jump. I said, okay, fine. I don't want any more job. I would like to do something on my own. So it was 2010 that I started doing sort of consultancy business because this trading business requires huge amount of funds. So just to give you an idea, like if you want to do one tank or one vessel of oil, you need about 70, $80 million. So with such kind of lack of funds, it was easy for me to use my expertise and I had developed huge contacts all over the world, especially in Russia because I was living there. So I decided to get into consultancy business, and for almost 8, 9 years, I was doing consultancy, and I was doing it happily. And to 2019, again, something happened inside. I've been always following my inner voice to do something new. Every few years, I feel like doing, expanding, doing something new, and trying to do something new. So 2019, I started in Dubai. So when I was doing all these years oil and gas business, doesn't mean I was doing only oil and gas. As I told you, I've been doing all kind of trading activities, which included oil and gas, metals, precious metals, a little bit of agriculture also. So, so in 2019, I decided to do only gold, and around it, the reason was simple that, as I told you, we need huge funds for doing bigger things. So I chose that area where I could, do organized funds on my own and start my own activities. So that's how I came into Dubai in 2019. Why I came to Dubai? Because Dubai is center for gold business.
Mhm.
I went to Europe also. I tried in Switzerland. In Switzerland, I did not proceed because the reason being very high taxes in Switzerland. So I did my analysis. I found Dubai is a better place to do trading business. Here, a huge amount of gold comes from all over the world, and there are huge refineries here in Dubai, where the gold is, refined and then re-exported all over the world. So that's how the journey took place. Not that I'm not doing other commodities. I still continue providing consultancy to some of the companies in Europe, in the US, and whosoever needs for even oil and gas business. I keep doing that. So
Mhm.
basically, I have two companies here in Dubai. One is doing consultancy business, and which continues for oil and gas mainly, and the other one is gold business. So of course, last 2 3 years had been very tough. COVID period. We were all locked down, and I also stopped everything. I was not doing anything because health was always much more important than any kind of travel. My business requires completely is based on travel and communication. And unless you have the possibility to travel, it's very difficult to work. So for 2 years, I was not doing anything, but last year again, I started very actively, and by the grace of God, everything is fine. So this is a small history, a brief history of my
So very, very,
professional.
very interesting journey you've had. And
Yeah,
sir,
in
so
the process, I want to add that I was enjoying every bit of it. I don't know how I grew, how suddenly I became at this age. I've never realized this. So the time passes so fast when you're doing something which interests you. The time flies. So I have never ever realized how the time went away. And in the process, I learned a lot. I met many people in the world. I have contacts more than 80 countries in the world. I have people who love me in these countries, and I love these people around the world. And I know multiple languages. Whichever country I used to go, I generally used to pick up language also, because that's how you can make personal contacts with people. So I love my journey, and I continue doing it. There are many bigger plans, and everything else is on God. How He takes you forward.
uh, and sir, so what is the basic structure of a trading business? If you're trading in oil or any metals, commodities, whatever someone wants to trade in, what is the flow of
This is
the
a basic structure is actually the trading is basically like in stock trading also. It's basically more of an individual who is doing the job.
Mm,
So all other are support functions. So for example, in my company also, I am the person who's deciding on everything. So the support functions are like mainly there are two other support functions. Number one is logistics. Whatever we are doing, we have to know how to pick up something from somewhere internationally,
mm,
bring it to Dubai, and then of course, logistics within Dubai and logistics out of Dubai. So there is one logistics is the most important function,
mm,
and the second important service function is the finance.
mm,
Again, finance is so closely related with the structuring of the transactions, the trading transactions. That is broadly with me only how I do, how I structure the whole. Like as I told you, in stock market, in commodity trading also, most of the job is done by one man. It's basically one man show. Around me are, of course, the people who are providing me services like logistics, accounting, and then support staff, and maybe sometimes some languages if I don't know. So the interpreters, and sometimes we hire consultants for some particular, jobs where we are not able to handle some particular country. So we,
mm, mm.
appoint in those countries some consultants. But broadly speaking, the main function is done by me alone. So
So
that
So,
is
so what you're trading is not the contracts like everybody like a retail trader does. For example, I'm trading in forex right now. So, about at my scale, I'm just buying and selling intraday or maybe in a few days. What you're doing is you're actually buying the gold or if you wanted to, you'll take
Yeah,
a oil
I'm doing
consignment.
physical trading. Yeah, I'm not into derivative trading, and I'm not into documentation. I'm basically physical trading. I'm
Mm,
doing physical trading, which means I buy physical gold in in very disturbed countries like Mali, like Congo, and like Uganda. So we physically pick up gold from there, from the miners.
Okay.
We go there, we pick up, bring the gold physically from there, bring it to Dubai, refine them, and then we either export to India or sell it here in Dubai. So for our work is completely, on physical commodities, not on derivative tradings.
So, sir, as you mentioned, you started with trading oil, and then later moved on to like other commodities and eventually to gold. Like, what are the main differences between these commodities, or when trading, what are the major differences which you have to keep in mind?
So you see, every commodity is very, very unique. Every product is very unique. So let me first give you some glimpse. For example, if you're talking about oil trading, oil is a consumable, right? Oil is a consumable. So what happens is, if you want to pick up oil, the producers are in different countries, very few countries. For example, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Russia. There are very few countries which are producing these oil and oil products. Okay, and then when we are bringing those products, we have to bring those products in very big tankers, very big vessels, like 30,000 tons, 50,000 tons, 100,000 tons, 200,000 tons, those kind of vessels. Okay, then the people who are going to buy from us here, they also need to have huge infrastructure. For example, they need to have their own tankers, their tank farms, or their own vessels. And then they must have the pipelines to take that product to the end user. So it's a very different commodity. When we are doing gold, for example, so gold is being mined in very small mining areas in Africa. Okay, so we pick up from those mines, and this is just in few kilograms, 5 kilogram, 10 kilogram, 20 kilogram. You can even pick up in your own suitcase and bring it. You understand? So see the difference in logistics. So the logistics is different, the supply side is different, and the buyers are very different. The buyers are most of the buyers which we have are basically into storage of value. For example, they just accumulate gold, and against that gold they create bonds, they create equities, they create derivatives, and they work on those. So it is not a consumable actually. So every commodity is very different, and the handling of every commodity in terms of logistics, in terms of finance, is very different. Every product actually is very different, and the risks involved are very different. For example, the gold is highly risky product, and there are many places where it is so risky that you cannot even take insurance, you cannot even take you know the international agencies are not there, international banks are not there, they just don't exist in DRC, in Mali, in those places. There are no international agencies. Whereas when you're doing business like oil business, everything is very structured, everything is highly structured. But these days, even the structure is breaking down because of the war situation. Right now, war is going on in Russia, so the whole oil market is in a very spin. Just to give you an example, for example, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, the oil of diesel was about diesel which we use in our cars. Yeah, international price was around say $900. Suddenly one day Russia says we are stopping export for 1 month. The price went from 900 to 1050 in just one day. Yesterday, Russia again said from Monday we are opening the export. So today the price is again back to $900. Before the war, the same product was at $450 just 2 years ago. So there is no stability in the market when you're talking about oil market. I'm telling you the difference between the two markets. Whereas gold is speculative and value of storage, and so the price is generally goes along with your step by step. It goes up and up and up. But I've never seen the price of gold going down. But the variation is much more in oil and gas than as compared to in the gold market. So every product is very unique. You just cannot compare one product from the other. That is one of the reasons people generally don't change their trade. If somebody is doing oil and gas, he will keep doing oil and gas all his life. If somebody is doing gold, he will keep doing gold because it takes time to learn, to de-learn, to understand how to do, what to do, and what not to do.
And so, in a trading business, what all skills are required to create a trading business like you have? For example, you already talked about creating a network because you need to deal with different countries and different laws. What all are
So yeah, I will put it in very simple way. Number one is connections, or what we say contacts, connections. How you connect with people, how you connect with the right people, because people are also, too much of fraud in this world, too much in every area, whenever, especially where the places where we go in Africa, there are a lot of wrong people. So the right connections.
in your industry? Money is directly involved with everything. You
Yeah,
have
and
to
the value of
transact.
money is, yeah, and the money, the value of transaction is very large.
Mm-hmm.
The value of transaction is, as I told you, in oil and gas, minimum value will be 30, 40, $50 million. In the case of gold, will be minimum 1 million, 1.5 million, $5 million. That's I'm talking minimum side. So what happens is you have to be very careful about whom you contact with, connect with. So connections is very easy to these days. No, people say we can connect on the internet. You may connect on the internet, but 9 out of 10 are fraud. There's nothing genuine in them. So that is number one, the right connections. Okay. Then right competence. Right competence is very important because, as I just mentioned to you, the prices fluctuate very drastically. If your mind cannot assimilate a lot of information, macroeconomic, microeconomic, business, political, geopolitical, if you cannot process all this in your mind, it becomes very difficult for you to take right decisions. And unless you take right decisions, you're bound to fail. So I would say number two is competence. Yeah.
Right.
And number three, most important in trading business is the financial capability. If you do not have the possibility of organizing finance, either your own or borrowed or whatever way, you just cannot do this trade. You have to have these three. These three are the main factors. And of course, the most important, I mean, these are the skills, I would say. But most important thing is your passion. If somebody has the passion, he should get into this. If it is just to see that something is big and he enters, he will not be successful. The passion is also very important. Passion to explore life, passion to work with people, have a lot of patience because most of the people we meet outside our own country have different psychologies, different cultures, different mindsets, and different languages. So to uh, get to know them well and to get it and really to make right connections with them is not so easy.
Right. Also, sir, while setting up the trading businesses, what were the difficulties which were faced by you in all, like in the oil one in Russia, also in the gold ones, and also maybe in the one at Switzerland you can talk about. If you can.
See that there are in different places different kind of problems and difficulties you face, and they're mostly related to people related. Why people related, I would say, is as I told you, the most of the time, if you get to work with wrong people, you're bound to get into big problems. And it's very difficult to get to know whether the people you are going to start work with are right or wrong. Very difficult unless you actually worked with them. Unless you have worked with them, you don't know. And the size of the transaction is very big. Unless you take the action, you don't know whether it is going to work out or not work out, right? So the most important difficulty is in this business to know the right people, to get to know the right people, how they will behave. That is one. And number two, of course, in some countries the taxes, as I told you, are so high that unless the volumes are made really very big, it doesn't make sense. Like I was trying in Germany and Switzerland, I found my business, the taxation was almost 60%, 60% of the gross profit. So if you're doing small business, you don't even make up your expenses. The size of the volume has to be really large for you to be able to sustain. You know? So the difficulties in different products and different places are different, but generally it is like mainly people related, and of course finance related. How to organize funds, because people are not going to trust with funds with you unless and until they know you well. So it's a very long, drawn process to learn, to create connections, to create trust among people, and then to move forward. So you have to have a lot of patience.
And, sir, in the recent past, Uh, I've I've listened to many people who told me that moving to Dubai has been a major step for them in their business क्योंकि Dubai is very favorable tax wise, business के लिए भी and personal income tax भी. So are there any other reasons also you moved to Dubai to start the gold business?
So for me, the Dubai was basically because of the reason, because of the geopolitical reasons. Dubai is open for working with any country in the world.
Mhm,
So there are no political affiliations. For
mhm,
example, today a lot of countries don't want to work with Russia, but
mhm,
Dubai has no problem. So we are sitting here. I'm doing a lot of work with Russia even today. So that was number one. Number two, geographical location is very good. Like for my business, I'm from India, so for me to travel to Delhi is just few hours, to Bombay few hours, to Africa 7 8 hours, 6 7 hours, to Moscow 4 5 hours. So traveling from here is easy. So that was second. And number three, of course, is the most important is that for the gold business, all the requisite infrastructure exists here for many decades. Like there are refineries, there are banks which understand how to do conduct business, how to open bank instruments. They know. So these are the three things. Taxation now is not very attractive here because recently, from 1st of June, 9% tax has been introduced.
okay.
So like in India we have the tax, so here also we have the tax. But the people, the business people are really not much bothered about tax as long as we are getting all the other benefits. Yeah, so it's okay. Uh, it's all right. It's fine as long as it is other parameters are working out well. But fortunately, now even India is opening up. I was just 2 weeks ago. I was learning about that gift city, and I'm learning about so many things. India is becoming more liberal year after year, and I'm very seriously trying now to do something, set up something in India also.
Okay, that's nice, sir. Uh, sir, to for a fresher to break into the trading businesses, what how should one start? If I wanted to start today, if I like the gold trading or oil trading or metals business, any kind of metal or even commodities, how do I start? What kind of licenses or certificates do I have to get to start this kind of a business?
See, most part of the world now, every commodity is regulated by the government. Okay, whether it is India or Russia or Africa or even Dubai, everything is regulated, which means you open a company, incorporate a company, okay, and you go through the whole process of incorporation. Also, in most of the countries, the process of incorporation is a similar one, not the same, but it's similar, right? In India, also the same. Then after that, you have to take the licenses. That is the most important part. License for operating in gold is different as license for operating in oil and gas. That is how I told you I have two companies. In one company we do a gold business. There you have the requirements are very stringent. Why? Our office is supposed to be like a bank. Like we have all kind of cameras and securities and the grillings and all that stuff which is required for complete security. And our office is under the control of police.
Okay.
So we have the buttons. We just press the button, and the police will be there in 2 minutes. License, one of the licensing requirement is to put all these infrastructure in place. Once you have that license and you have the bank accounts, then of course you can start. These are the basic, and then of course you have to have the registrations with the logistic companies, international logistic companies like Brinks, Ferrari, Transguard. They're international. They move international valuables. Like suppose you want to bring some 1 ton of gold from Dubai to India, so you'll have to use these companies. You cannot do it yourself.
Mhm.
So you have to register with them also. They also see your compliances that you are doing everything in a legal way. Then the most important is the refineries. So you have to register yourself with the refineries also, so that the refineries are able to give you the possibility to refine whatever raw gold you bring here to refine. And these are the basic requirements, and
Understandable.
they're relatively easy to do in Dubai as compared to in India, because India has own very strict regulations. In India, gold business is completely regulated through banks and MMTC, STC, and state agencies. But I believe now state agencies, MMTC, STC has also been closed down recently. So only the banks are doing in India. So if you want to bring bullion, bullion is refined gold. You can do only through banks in India. But if you have your own refinery there, then you can probably bring the raw gold as a raw material and then refine and then you can. So that is one of the ways I'm also looking at the moment in India. So how to start work in India.
So, sir, what gaps do you see in this business where new age startups can enter and can be created? Like the gaps.
You're probably asking me about the opportunities for the
Right.
startups.
Yes.
Actually, physical gold. So physical gold is like agriculture product. It's like something coming out of the earth.
Mm.
I don't know other than the automation of some processes, if anything else can be done because uh, any mineral product, any agriculture product, I don't think any startup using some new technology can do something new. I don't see any gap, not much of a gap, unless they get enter into derivatives market. Where that's a different market like stock market, forex exchange market. But in physical trading, I do not see that somebody can do at the moment things in a different way than we are doing at the moment. Listen, the processes are not going to change in the near future also. They're going to remain the same.
And sir, like you were talking about technology, so digressing a bit from your core business, so in the last few years, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have exploded in interest in normal people and everybody. So, do you think that it is Bitcoin specifically is comparable to actual gold because it is dubbed as digital gold simply because it is also limited in number. Nobody can create like gold. It is God's money, as popular acronym goes, popular saying goes. Ki gold is God's money. You can't replicate it as per your wish. So, do you see cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin ever getting mainstream value like gold in the
I
in the
cannot really comment very much about cryptocurrencies, but yes, Bitcoin. I think if you compare between gold and Bitcoin, it's the question of trust. The kind of trust people have on gold, I think, will take huge amount of time and effort for people to create that kind of trust in Bitcoin and even in other currencies. I understand that some cryptocurrencies are now backing up some asset classes. Like some are doing against diamonds, some are doing against gold. Those cryptocurrencies will pick up faster than the others because people will see underlying asset behind a cryptocurrency. But when it comes coming back to Bitcoin, as of now, I'm also using Bitcoin and I'm using basically USDT. But we are using it basically for those transactions which we cannot transact through banking
cash.
channels.
Mhm.
Yeah, banking channels. Because what has happened is a lot of countries are now banned, and like as I told you, Russia is not able to do SWIFT transactions. So we're using Bitcoin and USDT for that purpose. And I've seen the kind of fluctuations in the price. The variation in the price is huge in the case of Bitcoin also. So to compare Bitcoin with gold is like I think not very fair at the moment because Bitcoin people are using it just for speculation
Mhm.
and for transactions, whereas gold is mainly used for as an asset for storage of value.
Storage of value.
Like you're doing forex, which is USD, Euro. They are actually storage of value. So that is how gold is used. But whereas cryptos are generally used right now for transactions and for mainly for speculations.
Mhm. Sir,
But yes, I think slowly all these cryptocurrencies have the future. There's no doubt about it. They will come up. I think all the countries are now trying to convert their even the national currencies into cryptocurrencies. So if we go from today, say 10 years, 20 years, I see that slowly, slowly everything is moving towards electronic payment systems, and then slowly into cryptos. On this, the physical rupee and physical dollar, I think they will go slowly.
BDCs you're
So
talking about.
yeah, but they will have to be backed up by proper international and national regulations.
Mhm.
Right now, that is a process which is taking place all over the world. I think China is leading in that. China is doing a lot of work on that E yuan they're doing right now. So it will happen. It will definitely happen. It could be 20 years, could be 10 years. I don't know, but we are moving towards that direction.
Mm. But I think gold will always hold value simply because it is actually a real asset. Even if suddenly if a meteor hits or something and China's government goes, their EU1 would be worthless. But gold will always be valuable to anybody who's their gold, silver, uh, things
Yeah, the
because.
physical assets, whatever physical assets we have, for example, gold, we could have platinum, rhodium, we could have silver, or we could have our properties. In India, property values are also big. So, all these physical assets, attract our mind and give us more security. We feel much more secure as compared to any kind of electronic asset. So, electronic money, electronic assets, cryptocurrencies, they have far time to go before people start trusting them 100% as they trust, and the trust will come only when the national governments are going to back them up with their full guarantee of payment.
Mhm.
So for example, we trust rupee or we trust dollar because it's a fiat money, but we are sure that the government is going to give us value against that, right? But we are not very sure about that when it comes to cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrencies, when backed up by the governments, fully backed up by the governments, then it will start gaining traction. But right now, I think it is in a formative stage.
Mhm.
But definitely, it will happen because everything is going electronic. So one day this will have to come up.
Uh, so, sir, how do you sustain yourself whenever there are stressful events or problems while handling or running the business?
Well, it's a beautiful question, and when you start, especially when you start on your own, you get into this kind of situation every other day. So I'm a very firm believer of spirituality, and I strongly believe that a lot of things are dictated to us from divine. So whenever any stress situation develops, I always try to see what is behind it. You have to go a little behind it. You have to just detach a little bit mentally and emotionally from that situation. And I always find that there is some lesson in that. There's always a lesson in every problem and stress and tension which you face in life. You have to just go behind, go back a little bit and observe. Just observation makes a lot of difference for me. And if you just observe a little bit, all these tensions and they generally go away.
Beautiful answer, sir. Uh, so we've finished the questions. We just conduct a rapid fire round. Just five quick questions. Whatever comes first to your mind, you can answer. So the first thing is, what is the best part about your job or business?
It's like quick decision making. You have to make very
Okay,
quick. You have to evaluate a situation and make a quick decision. That I love. I think
Uh,
in
the,
forex,
sec-
forex also the same situation for you.
correct.
the second question, sir, what would you like to change about your job or business?
Nothing.
Perfect situation.
Yeah, nothing because I keep improving myself. I've been doing it for so many years, and I just keep improving. That's all. Nothing, no change. Or in other words, say every moment is a change. You can put it either way. No change, or every moment is a change depending upon how you evaluate, how you move forward.
Change is the only constant.
It's change the only constant. Yeah.
Sir, so this question may be a little out of this thing, but can AI or robots take over your job or your the trading business sometime in the future, in 10,
No,
20
not
years?
really.
No.
See, AI can never be constructive. I don't see it becoming constructive or conscious in the next 20, 30 years. I don't see that. It will remain as a tool to enhance your capabilities. For example, your processing capabilities, your storage capabilities, and maybe start giving you some ideas and start processing it faster than your mind because they have much faster processing powers, but they can never be could not be constructive, and the kind of factors our mind can evaluate and can integrate and take decision. I don't think so. AI will be able to do it. Not only in my industry. I don't think it will happen in next at least 20, 30 years. Next generation, it will happen that the AI becomes conscious
Mm-hmm.
suddenly. We as human beings have become conscious over the last 1 million years.
So yes, correct.
Yeah, million year almost. Our frontal this cortex got started developing about million year ago. So how can you expect that a machine will become conscious just like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think it will remain under human control. I think most of the time, I can foresee.
So, sir, what is that one missed opportunity which you wish you have a second opportunity, second take at?
Ashwini, to tell you honestly, many opportunities we miss as we move forward in life. You know, so many opportunities which come and we are not able to take decisions quickly. Why we think, okay, we keep evaluating many times. Even now, also I do the same. By the time I'm evaluating, the opportunity is gone because, as I just told, we need very quick decision, and I'm not able to do that quick decision because whenever I did quick decisions in the past, especially when I was young, I made mistakes and I made huge losses. So what I decided is I'm not bothered. If I understand something, I do it. If I don't understand, I don't do it. So many mistakes we did, and I think I'll continue doing. It's okay.
Uh, and sir, if not trading, what other career could you have gone to?
The stock market used to, be very interesting for me during my college days. I was very much interested to follow on the stock market, but fortunately or unfortunately, I did not have funds, so I couldn't follow it up. Then my career went towards commodities, and I just got too much engaged in that. Otherwise, the stock market does really interest me even today.
So you would have gone to the financial market one way or another.
Yeah, if I had funds, I would have probably done that. Yes, but somehow it didn't happen, so it's okay.
Maybe divine intervention.
Yeah, it's actually all divine,
Yes.
honestly speaking. We just think that we are doing it. There is something inside us which we call soul or whatever. So it is always taking you to a particular path, and probably that is the best path.
Mm.
And some of the opportunities which you just said, Ashwini, what were you? This thing you lost, you think? No, we never regret. I never regret because the opportunities keep coming. And for me, honestly, they come in too many numbers. Like in one day, there'll be 10 opportunities coming, and I don't know how to handle them. I just cannot handle them. So I just handle one or two which I can, which I understand are more stable and less risk free, and take it forward. So there is no opportunity in life if it has been lost. It has never lost actually. You're learning something from that also. You're always learning. We always think that we have lost something. In life, there's so many ups and downs. When you're down, you feel, oh my God, as if everything is lost. But there also there is some reason, some lesson that you learn and you move forward from there. So never ever regret, never be resentful in life. Take a lesson and move forward.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you so much, sir. Very insightful podcast. Uh, you gave a lot of useful tips, a lot of useful insights about the trading business and how you think also, because that is I think more important rather than getting into all of the vagaries of the business. Because obviously everything is changing. So
Aditya, I will just leave one thought with you. We have actually two lives. One is our inner life and one is our outer life. Your inner life is always much, much, much more important than your outer life. Outer life is just the manifestation of your inner life. If you can stabilize your inner life, create a balance, observe yourself, create a balance, and strengthen it, your outer life will always go in the right direction.
mhm. uh, thank you so much, sir. uh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking out
Like,
time.
Thank you so much, sir.
thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.